Hello, Qembek here. This won't be my typical ArcheAge video because most of them they are guides. I'm trying to tell you guys how to make money, how to progress in game, or inform you about some new stuff appearing in the game. But this time, I just I just decided that I don't want to stay silent anymore because sometimes it's worse to be silent. Maybe me speaking up will bring some kind of difference and make some players understand better what this game is. Today I want to talk about pay to win aspect of the game, pay to win aspect of ArcheAge. And I know that a lot of you might become offended by what I'm going to say here, but I'm going to say it anyway because I was gathering up my anger since even fresh start servers were released. I can give you some examples of what happened that made me believe that I need to make this kind of video and give out my opinion about the game as it is on the current stage. So first things that I've saw that are harming the game and they aren't coming from Tryon were appearing with those videos that other content creators made. Not all of them, but definitely most of them. They were giving out false promises just to get those views on their channel, or just to build up some hyped up community around the videos that they were releasing back then before fresh start servers were released. So they were promising various shit like ArcheAge is no more pay to win, ArcheAge will have no market items, ArcheAge will be God knows what. They sold everything to those poor people, and you know, those people that quit the game, they aren't coming just because they read the official messages. A lot of those people, they were coming with their communities from other communities like YouTubers that were making videos about MMOs, MMORPGs. They have their own audiences, and the only way that this audience would reach ArcheAge was to actually listen to their YouTuber. And if this content creator was misleading them, they ended up with huge disappointment and complaints. And those complaints, they weren't addressed at those YouTubers. They were like, fuck no, Tryon, you tricked us again, you lied to us. Meanwhile, there was never an official message from Tryon that they were stating that they are removing the marketplace or anything like that. There were official messages saying that market will be reduced, that there will be some kind of modification of the market as we know it on legacy servers to make it more difficult for us to progress by spending real money when fresh start servers are released. And this promise was delivered by Tryon, but never mind. Another example of greater stupidity out of our community comes up with the fresh start servers and first regrades. You know what happened when people started regrading and they received great successes, There was a horde of players who were thinking that they are really fun and they are joking, they are making a great joke, and maybe even they did at day one. They started spamming faction chat with pay to win, dead game reactions. Pay to win that game. Someone regraded epic weapon, pay to win that game. Someone regraded Ethereum armor to divine, pay to win that game. Someone regraded fucking sales from Celestial to divine, pay to win that game. That was the reaction from our community. And you know what? It wasn't fucking funny after it was second month of the release, you know? It wasn't funny at all. And you know what else it could cause? That someone who was unexperienced with the game and he saw those messages on the faction chat, he was thinking, what the fuck is this item? Why everyone is saying pay to win? Do I have to pay to get this item? Yeah, probably I do. And I'm not saying that everyone was reading these messages as I explained a second ago, but I'm saying that there could be a bunch of people who were not experienced with the game. They didn't have knowledge how to obtain those items, and that they took these messages seriously. So when they saw pay to win, they remembered that pay to win is here. To make this item I have to pay. And you can say that I'm overreacting on this one, and maybe you would be right, but I'm asking you once again, how does it help this game that after like second month after releasing of fresh start servers, someone is regrading a divine sale, and natural reaction of the community is to actually spit on the game and make not so funny joke about pay to win that game? Because I don't fucking understand it here. At this point I don't understand it. It's not funny, it's not helping anyone, it can only do harm to the community as a group. But yeah, we've got those jokers around on every server. They think they are funny, meanwhile they are not, but that's my opinion. Another example, and I think it's the last example in this video, is definition of pay to win and why actually people believe that Apex is a pay to win item. Apex is an item that you can obtain by spending real money or in-game gold, which means that it's actually not pay to win. If you can obtain it both ways, yeah, there has to be someone who spends real money first on it to bring it into the economy and for it to appear on our market, but as soon as this is done, those of us who decide not to spend real money are able to use our in-game gold to obtain Apex and convert it into credits. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to use marketplace as we know it in the game. We wouldn't be able to spend credits without spending real money. But thanks to the Apex, we are actually able to keep our patron status in game. We are able to get access to the marketplace and buy every fucking item out of the marketplace. And yes, I understand that Apex allows you to gain an advantage, gain a boost. Other players, they have to work for the gold in game, they have to produce an item or gather up the item, and if you spend real money on Apex, then you can just exchange it into gold. But the positive side of Apex for me is overwhelming the pay to win aspect of it. But that's something we can discuss on. You know, you can have your own opinion, your definition of pay to win, I can have mine. My definition tells me that pay to win means that I have to pay real money to obtain something, otherwise I will not have it. In this definition, for me, example of pay to win item that was implemented into the game were those items that were released in $150 pack, and the biggest one I remember was this lava spark pet. A lava spark pet was the only useful pet before there was a total rework on pets, before we could even craft armors for the pets. So pets were useless, and suddenly we've got a $150 pack that releases a pet. Nobody can have it because it's bound on pickup, so it means that you need to pay $150 to get this pet, otherwise you will not have it. And that's it. That's pay to win for me. But if I can spend gold and get the same item that you bought with real money, then I don't call this item pay to win. But that's just me. So do I think that it's just to throw shit at this game and just sum it up with words pay to win, garbage game, dead game? Well, maybe dead game will be soon a true part of this accusation, but when I see people entirely focusing on throwing shit at this game because it's pay to win, then I see someone who probably failed to compete in this game and ended up frustrated quitting the game, and the easiest way for him to justify his failure is that he hit the pay to win wall. I also understand that there should be some kind of difficulty for those of you who decided to join the game today and you want to compete with those guys who play the game since years. Those guys, they deserve their progress, their advantage, you know? Even if they paid some money, they still deserve it because they invested a lot of time, and you cannot just jump into the game and expect that you will be able to compete with them. There are different aspects of this game that may cause you fail when you are trying to compete. For example, I'm a cloth user and I get one-shotted by someone who has really good weapons. There are different things that make me want to quit the game when I fail, but I don't end up crying on the forums and claiming this game is pay to win garbage game. Because pay to win aspect in this game is not so strong as community is suggesting, and it's not a garbage game either. It's a poorly managed game, but the mechanics of the market, in my eyes, they are actually something that gives you an advantage if you are a free-to-play player. But you need to know how to use this advantage, and you need to understand that you won't be able to compete with those people who invested a lot of time. They've got some kind of structure around their money making ways, they have multiple accounts or guild members, they have teamwork, and you are here starting without knowledge, you are making more mistakes. So there are different aspects of the game that will make you stay behind those top players. But it's not impossible to catch up with them, and it's not impossible to do so without spending real money. It's just a matter of deciding how much you can dedicate yourself into the game, how much you are willing to educate yourself, and how much time you are willing to dedicate here. And as much as it really feels strange and weird for me to speak out from this position, from this perspective, and sound probably like some kind of Tryon defender here, Believe me, I'm not trying to be one. I'm just trying to say that our community is not without the blame as well, and our definition of pay to win is different for everyone. My advice here is that you should think twice before you throw accusation like that towards the game itself or towards the player, another player, because those cases also happen, that you believe that you were kicked by someone because this guy is pay to win. Not necessarily. Maybe this guy is fucking running 4 hours per day to deliver his trade packs, and that's why he has the money, that's why he has the better gear, and you are able to play 1 hour per day, and no wonder that you aren't in the same position as he is. And I also don't want to say that those pay to win players, they do not exist, that there isn't a percentage of players in our community that have their strengths in the game obtained entirely or mostly because they've decided to spend real money. I'm just trying to say that not every player that you consider being a highly geared player is a player that decided to gain his gear, gain his advantage by spending real money in the game. And if you are still there listening to what I was saying a second ago, I'm really curious, what do you think about this topic? What do you think about ArcheAge pay to win reputation? How badly you believe that ArcheAge is pay to win? And do you think that community is without blame in the lack of success that we could say ArcheAge is suffering from? I wonder what's your opinion on this subject. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my position or you have a different point of view. Would love to see some constructive feedback in the comments. And that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for visiting my channel. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button or comment if you like my content. Thank you very much and see you later.